This is the Hockey Podcast Network, your home for hockey talk on every team in the NHL.
Welcome to Offside by a Mile, the podcast for anything and everything Colorado Avalanche, and the official Avs podcast for the Hockey Podcast Network. Well, Jared, everyone listening, it's finally over. No, I'm not talking about the election. However, it is Saturday. It's finally been called. It is over, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. No, I'm also not talking about my supply of Halloween candy that I've been eating way too much of over the last week.
I feel you, dude.
Holy fuck. I mistakenly put a bag of like Reese's and shit beside the couch where I've been staring at election coverage for the last fucking, 96 hours it feels like. So every time I get the hankering for something to eat, it's candy. But I still have like a box of candy. And I didn't even get any sale candy this year. We bought 2 boxes of candy to hand out to trick-or-treaters, and we had like 7 kids.
Yeah.
So guess who gets to eat it now and get fatter? Me. But no, I'm not here to talk about that. Season 1 of the Offside by a Mile Whoa. You'd think I could say that by now. Season 1 of the Offside by a Mile podcast is coming to an end. This is the final episode. This is Indeed. The end of season 1.
Hell yeah, man.
82 episodes, right?
That's, or is this, what is this, 83?
Is it 83? Oh, 83.
83 episodes, which is
plus
insane.
our like 2 or 3 preseason episodes too. So
yeah.
Like, it's been a run. And I don't mean it's been like hard. I mean, it hasn't been easy through COVID and everything, but
no doubt.
I'm not saying it's been like, a grind necessarily, but it's been like, 13 months? 14 months almost of content production for one season.
Yeah.
That I can say with certainty was not expected.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, thanks to everyone for coming checking us out throughout the season and getting us to where we are, getting the podcast network to where it is.
Hell yeah.
That being said, if you haven't followed us on Twitter and noticed the jersey giveaway that's going on through the Hockey Podcast Network,
yes.
Come check us out on Twitter at Offside Mile Pod. Retweet our tweet, the jersey giveaway tweet. Follow us. Follow the Hockey Podcast Network. Get your chance to win a legitimate Adidas jersey, not some shitty Fanatics jersey, not some shitty knockoff off eBay.
Some nice Adidas
a
threads,
legitimate
man.
Adidas NHL jersey.
Hell yeah, and we're close.
Keep
retweet that shit.
So the rules is the podcast with the most amount of retweets on their podcast gets to pick one of their retweeters for their jersey. So you guys need to crush our retweets.
We want to give this away to you guys.
We saw that you Colorado folks like to vote on shit. Which,
hell yeah.
Man, that is crazy. I don't want to get crazy into election coverage. I know you're here because you don't want any more election coverage. But the fact that Colorado folks, I don't know how to tell you say Coloradans or whatever the hell.
Coloradans.
You guys crushed it. I saw something like 87% of registered voters went out and voted. Like 3.3 million voters or something. Like that is
intense.
Crazy awesome. Like that.
I can't really say I've seen that kind of percentage out of anywhere for like any election.
I can't say I've ever looked into it, but like I'm pretty certain that is substantial.
It's extremely high.
Like, there's not much better. Like I know you have friends. I'm sure people have friends that didn't vote because it doesn't matter. You guys showed that you guys went out and voted, and that is fucking fantastic.
Exercise that democracy. Shit. We're just nailing it.
It's a good thing this is the last episode of the season. But yeah, so, we're going to piggyback on that and come to our Twitter account, come retweet our stuff, and come and win yourself a goddamn Adidas jersey.
Hell yeah.
But yeah.
Get that new jersey for next season, which is, hopefully just around the corner.
Maybe a Nordiques jersey.
Ooh,
hopefully.
Yeah. You never know what that new fourth, what's that going to be?
Maybe a foot. I don't know if anybody saw our tweet about the jersey from last episode, but holy shit, you guys went nuts. That was crazy.
Fucking exploded.
I did not expect that kind of interaction with that tweet. I thought it was pretty soft. I thought that the jersey combos were pretty clear and obvious that the Nordiques jersey was going to pull out, but a lot of people had the foot jersey or something like that.
Yeah, lots of people like that.
It's surprising. I don't imagine we see the foot jersey. I like the foot jersey. It's been a shoulder patch before for the Avs. I don't hate it. I really would like to see it on a jersey, maybe an alternate jersey one day.
Yeah.
But when it comes to selling a jersey that is different, which is what they have the opportunity to do right now, is create a jersey that's very different that makes people want to go out and buy a new jersey. Plus, it's the 25-year anniversary coming up for the Avs.
Right.
It pretty much has to be a baby blue Nordiques jersey, right?
Yeah, and like we talked about that last episode, obviously. Just like the fact, if we're going to do a reverse retro, quote unquote, it would make sense that it's the Nordiques jersey.
Yeah.
And also because it's like, how do you make a reverse retro of like a jersey that's been the same since the beginning, basically?
Yeah. Since the Colorado Avalanche have been the Colorado Avalanche, that jersey has been burgundy, blue.
Pretty much, shoulders, bottom.
Yeah, pretty similar design.
Yeah.
Same logo. Like, I don't know what else. Like, if the current third jersey we had right now wasn't dark blue, they might have a place to go in that fashion.
Right, yeah, because those are still in rotation.
I believe
right?
they're still in the rotation for next year.
I think so.
Because these reverse retros, I think, are only going to get like 2 games.
Right.
And maybe even less, considering that the NHL came out this week, I think it was this week, and said that they're not playing into the summer.
Right. Like, I believe, they don't want to.
Yeah, they don't want to play. Yeah. They don't want to play past, I believe, June, maybe July.
Which I think is fair.
I believe the Summer Olympics is in August.
Oh, that too. Right.
Which...
But didn't they also say that that's still an option to play through that?
I thought I
saw. I can't remember now. So
I think it is. I think we're still everything's super up in the air.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
But I believe fighting with the Olympics is a losing move. We already saw with the Stanley Cup getting awarded in September.
With literally no other sports going on.
Basically basketball going on. And then
golf.
A little bit of football, a little bit of golf. And I guess some shitty baseball.
Yeah.
I don't mean baseball shitty. I just mean like just what kind of baseball was going on just wasn't, it wasn't October.
Right,
it wasn't playoff baseball that they were competing in.
It was not a regular season for that.
And we had I think, Brett, you said that it was the worst viewership in not Stanley Cup history, but in a very long time. Like, worst viewership final ever. So that's brutal.
Yeah, which is like, oh man, that is like weird in
now,
a way, right?
Imagine having a conference final and a Stanley Cup final during the Olympics.
Yeah.
That sounds like a really big recipe for disaster. Fair. And because it was fresh and coming back after we had a 2 or 3 month break, right? So that doesn't surprise me why people came back, because I was fucking
starved.
We were starved for hockey. We were super jacked. The only reason that I gutted it out to watch the final every game was because I knew that we were 3 or 4 months away from more hockey.
Just get it in you.
I knew it was gonna be November, and I was gonna be like, "What the fuck? There's no hockey on." So I was like, "I'm getting all the hockey I can."
Yeah.
But I think we're looking at a shortened season probably.
It's seeming more and more that way
because the NHL came out
is what it is,
and also said with that same statement that yes, they weren't gonna play in the summer most likely, and they weren't going to play less than 48 games. Well, if they're looking at their minimum amount of games, That means they're probably not looking at a maximum amount of games of 82.
Right.
They're probably looking at like 60, 62, 70, similar to what we just had. That's my guess. My guess on top of that also is the fact that if you're looking at that and if you're already looking at a potentially reduced season, that means you're probably not confident in January 1st.
Yeah.
Which, again, we said last week, I think the week before. I'm not holding my breath for January 1st. I haven't been holding my breath for January 1st.
Yeah.
But another thing that happened this week, I believe it was Thursday, maybe Friday. The NBA voted, the NHL or the NBA PA and all that stuff. They all voted December 22nd. They are starting. They are going to be playing on Christmas Day.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I saw a tweet today. I can't remember who tweeted it. It was this morning. This will be the shortest of the major sports leagues in North America. This will be the shortest offseason in any league at 71 days for the NBA.
Yeah.
Which, again, you look at it NHL-wise and NBA too. They have the same thing. A lot of teams have had the longest offseason in history.
Yeah.
But you look at teams like the Lakers, who just won the championship, or the Miami Heat, they're coming off 71 days of rest going to play on December 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
That's not long at all. That's just over 2 months. That's barely anything.
Yeah.
For a sport that normally has, 3-4 months. Between that's not between start and end dates, that's between like training camp dates.
Yeah.
Right? And that's it gives me hope for the NHL to get something going January 1st, because we've looked at this whole pandemic thing. We kind of talked about it, right? Last episode. The NBA and the NHL seem tied together. They always do. Their seasons are the same time. The way they handled the pandemic, the way they, did basically a playoff run to come back, a playoff tournament or whatever you want to call it. They were very similar. They're very similar in how they handled the COVID pandemic period with little to no cases of COVID. This is where it may change, because I don't know if you can bring back teams in the NHL that haven't, I don't know if players are going to agree to it, to come back after having 7-8 months off, like a team like the Detroit Red Wings or San Jose Sharks, those teams that haven't played hockey. Mm-hmm. I don't know if those guys are going to be okay with that. Plus, the NBA owners kind of had a gun to the players' heads too. I heard and I saw multiple people report this. The players were looking at like mid-January to restart, and the NBA owners had a figure of $1 billion, $1 billion plus dollars,
right,
if they delayed the season from the 22nd of December to mid-January. I don't think the NBA has that gun to the players' heads. I don't think that's I don't think the NHL has that kind of revenue to worry about, because A, their TV deals aren't as lucrative in the States as the NBA.
Yeah.
And B, the NBA has one Canadian team to deal with. The NHL has 7.
Yeah, I was going to mention that too. That makes a big difference.
It's one thing to have the Raptors play out of the States like the Jays did in the MLB.
Right, same kind of thing.
The Blue Jays moved to Buffalo and played all their home games in Buffalo at their AAA stadium. We've already seen what they're talking about, division realignments and stuff like that with the NHL. You're not moving 7 teams south of the border just to play hockey.
Yeah.
So, and you look at that too, right? The NBA is pushing their start date up to the 22nd of December, up, quote unquote. But they don't have nearly as many moving pieces as the NHL seem to, because of the border, because of what the NHL is looking to do with realignments and stuff like that. I find it very hard to believe that the NHL, it is November 7th as we're recording this episode, it'll be November 9th by the time you guys listen to it. That gives you 7 weeks to hit January 1st. That is crazy. Not knowing what the border is going to do after the election, after
like
the
who
COVID
knows,
shit.
right?
The
And,
COVID
like,
shit in the States is not getting better.
it's not getting better in Canada either, right?
That's also true. Yeah, it's not getting. But the States, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I believe they were all over 100,000 new cases.
Yeah, I mean, like,
That's it's not going the right way to get the border to reopen. But yeah, like you said, the COVID numbers in Canada aren't doing any better. Like Alberta, where we are, it looks like we're going to lockdown soon.
yeah.
You look at overseas in Europe, in England, they're in lockdown again. Like, I find it very hard to believe that the NHL is going to rush into this. I don't think the players are going to want to rush into it.
It's a goddamn nightmare for these businesses, eh? Like,
Yeah.
that's what I've been thinking about a lot, like, the last few weeks is, like, holy fuck, I don't envy their position, because it's like they need this to happen, right? Like, they need this next season to happen. And there's so much that's just unpredictability in so many different situations. It's like, that's rough, man. I don't envy their position, because they're probably like literally working day and night right now trying to figure this shit out.
This is $1 billion company.
Yeah.
Companies in every sports league. Imagine, obviously, we've seen the news, we've listened, but imagine small business, right? Like, they're going through the same shit with way less fucking people to deal with it. But again, right, like, you look at the NHL, you look at the NBA, you look at every sports league ever right now, it's been a shit show.
Yeah.
The NFL's kind of, I don't know, gotten a handle on some of it. But even then, like, the Oakland Raiders just got slapped with a fine because of their COVID practices. Like, it's not going super smoothly for them either. Like, players are getting COVID once in a while still for NFL. It's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how you can start a season. I don't know how the NBA is, like, the NBA is not going to have 2 cases at the very beginning and nothing after that. It's not going to be the same as the playoff bubble, especially rushing into it like this. I find it very hard to believe that.
Yeah, that's.
But I know, like,
kind of the state.
As a fan of hockey, I hope it starts January 1st. But at the same time, I hope whenever they do start it, we don't have weeks of hockey where it's just like, oh, half of the league's playing because the other half of the league's got COVID or potentially has COVID.
Yeah, this whole team has COVID.
That's not better.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
just rushing into it and having that happen is not better than waiting. So
yeah, it's a very touchy timeline,
It's terrifying. I couldn't imagine what it must be to be an owner in the NHL right now.
God, it's terrifying, for sure.
I'm sure the players aren't having a great time either, but they're not the ones that are necessarily risking a ton of money.
They're getting paid still, right?
Yeah.
Like,
they're going to get paid.
Right.
Right? Like, we watched it in the MLB. The MLB fought the Players Association for months about player contracts and how much they were going to cut off player contracts and all this shit. The NHL has escrow already built into that, so it's almost like they don't have to negotiate, but it's going to be something. If they play 48 games, they're going to play for half the money.
Especially if there's no fans.
Yeah, right? So it's...
Where is the money?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many moving parts that it just... I still feel like there's no way January 1st happens.
And, I feel like that's the way that you have to look at it, too. And then if it does happen, it's like, woo!
Surprise.
Let's go.
But yeah,
I mean, like you said, that's the scariest part is just what's going to happen after we start. Hopefully everything can go smooth enough.
If you are looking for live sports, I guess it doesn't really matter because it's Monday now. But Saturday night was a great UFC card, I'm sure.
Yeah, hopefully looking forward, future. I'm thinking in the future here. It was a good card.
Yeah, it's got to be a good card. And then what is it? The 21st? Is 21st the next pay-per-view, I believe?
Yeah, I think so, right?
255?
Yeah, it is 255. That's crazy 21st. To think about too now.
Oh yeah, this is Shevchenko and
right.
And then Garbrandt. Yeah,
Hell
that's gonna be a good card. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking for live sports between now and
if you like violence,
December 22nd, I guess you got you got the football on Sundays and the odd Monday and Thursday. Those have been awful. though. Most of the Monday nighters and Thursday especially have been awful. But you have Sunday night, or Sunday night. But you get the UFC on the 21st, and then a little bit in December, and the weekly shit, the fight nights and stuff. But I mean, until hockey comes back, it's gonna be quiet for us. I'm not saying we're not gonna do episodes, but it's gonna be quiet. We are taking a break till December, though. That is when season 2 is kicking off for the Hockey Podcast Network.
Hell yeah!
Officially, we will be back in December. This is our last episode. I'm going to Ontario for 2 weeks to catch COVID. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully not.
Knock on the woods.
I'm going to small town Ontario that hopefully has no COVID. But yeah, I'll be there for a couple weeks.
Just get one of those. Have you seen? Did I talk about this with you guys yet?
I don't know.
Okay, a lot of people I'm sure know Among Us at this point, that video game. That's what it reminds me of. But have you seen those fucking arm in total plexiglass or plastic personal bubbles?
Yeah, you definitely didn't
with
talk
the
to
air
us
filter
about
on the back.
Yeah, you definitely didn't talk to us
Holy
about it, but yeah, I
shit.
have, and holy fuck, those are amazing.
What is that? It's so
I saw a Karen yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Now, she wasn't mad. I'm just calling her a Karen because she was wearing what she was wearing on her face. She had the manager. I want to speak to your manager haircut. So, I feel like it's pretty safe to say she was a Karen. She had a visor on. Actually, no, I've seen two people. The first one, or I guess we'll talk about her second. The second one, I don't think she was a Karen, but what she was wearing was something else. But the first one that I saw yesterday at the drugstore, she had a visor on that literally it was on her face and bedazzled.
Oh yes,
yes, it was bedazzled.
Oh yeah,
had
it was
a
Karen.
nice little border of fucking plastic gemstones. Oh, so good. But it only covered her eyes, and it was pretty much flush with her mouth, and it was out, I don't know, probably an inch and a half off her face.
Protection.
And it's just the mask is so you don't spit on people, not so they don't spit in your face. Fuck.
Shit.
And she was a worker.
Damn it, Karen.
She was a worker, and I was just
She's working there?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I think she was stocking makeup or something.
Oh, yeah?
I was just oh my God. Now, this second one, I was at the mall. I needed to go buy a book for my flight. And this lady had an opposite visor. So I don't know, it was some plastic little thing, maybe it's 3D printed or something, but it perched up on her chin, and then the visor went from it. Imagine the way you'd wear a visor that went from your forehead down.
Oh God!
It went from her chin up.
What?
And stopped just below her eyes, so it covered her mouth and her nose.
I mean, that probably works better.
It definitely works better than Karen.
That's just.
But it was just why?
That's just weird.
Masks aren't that uncomfortable, for the love of God.
I know it's really funny, but think about so many businesses are probably just trying to hop on how can we make this stylish?
Oh man,
how can we?
This
one's more comfortable.
I was talking to a friend of mine who did drop shipping. Not that I'm looking. I'm laid off. I'm looking to see making some money on the side here. And he was talking to me about how he used to drop ship phone cases and stuff out of China.
Okay.
And we were talking. He's like, man, could you imagine being an Amazon seller, and before the pandemic hit, you just had cloth masks for some reason? Holy shit, the money you could have made on this.
Yeah.
Especially if they were good, decent, I mean, people are still making money on masks on Amazon, on anything, any of these stores. But if you were at the very beginning, holy shit.
Yeah.
The money you could have made.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. We're looking into the mask stuff because we're flying. It's a 4-hour flight. I have to wear a mask for the entirety of being in the airport, on the plane, out of the airport.
Right.
I've been looking into new masks to see, what's more comfortable for the plane ride and shit. Man, I think the disposables are still where it's at. They may not be that comfortable. Man, they're so much easier to breathe in.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I had one, and then the string broke off, and I was so sad. So I was like, man, because I just have a cloth one now.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, they're so much easier to breathe in.
The cloth ones are more comfortable.
Yeah.
but the disposables are way easier to breathe.
Yeah.
And it's funny to me. It's just so many people that are like, I was in Costco, like this is a couple of weeks ago, and I was like in line to return something, and this lady took her mask off before she left the building. She's like, it's just so hard to breathe. And I'm like, oh my God. It's not that hard, guys.
Yeah, the one meme I really, really liked was a picture of like someone wearing a mask, and it's like, it's so hard to breathe in, and then it's like in 2 months, and everyone's like in scarves and shit because it's freezing cold Canada, and some places in the
can
state
breathe no problem.
It's like, yeah, like,
Weird, huh?
It's funny.
What a thought.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that crap.
Enough Karen talk.
Enough Karen talk.
We just have a segment. This is
one of us, maybe the three of us should fucking pool our money and buy one of those Among Us fucking things and just walk around.
Man, when I saw that, I can't remember where it was. It might have been on Twitter that I saw it, but like, oh man, I laughed so hard because it was like just the way that they were like trying to sell it. It was just it was making me laugh. It's like,
is this the one that
like
had
a damn
like
astronaut? Dude.
Did it have the like hand, like the gloves, so you could like itch your face?
I don't think so.
Oh, it must have a different. I think it was
God.
on TikTok.
It's
I
like
saw
legit
mine.
bubble boy shit.
But yeah,
right
so it
there.
didn't have arms. It was just like it went on your head and like kind of on your shoulders to keep it stiff or whatever, keep it stable.
Yeah.
But it also had these little pockets like underneath your chin, kind of.
Oh, you weren't supposed to touch your face.
Yeah, but it was gloves. So the
Oh,
gloves
okay.
were like
We're
built
safe.
into the mask
That's
or whatever you want to
hilarious.
call this thing, the space. I don't know, whatever.
Capsule.
But they were like little cloth gloves that you'd stick your hand in and you could like itch your face through the
Oh man.
while still being
Can
covered.
you imagine just like how funny that would look? Oh,
I just like
that's funny.
remember at the very beginning of the mask thing, it was like, I don't want to look like an idiot, so I'm not going to wear a mask. And now you have the people that are wearing masks like idiots and making themselves look like idiots, because if you aren't wearing a mask, you look like an idiot, and if you're wearing it wrong, you look extra dumb.
Yeah.
And now there's the people that are going out of the norm with the designs of whatever they're wearing, and you're just like,
Aggressive.
oh my God.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, what a world we live in. One day we'll be normal again, I think. I don't know.
This is the new normal.
This is the new normal. It's like, oh, it's unprecedented. This is the new normal. Yep. Here we go.
Shit.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in. We love the support all season.
Yeah, it's been a great ride.
It's been a blasty blast. Hopefully season 2 ends in a very successful season with the Avs. Maybe a little less wambulance.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, looking back, it was a hell of an entertaining season and our first personal season in actually covering the Avalanche. And my God, we got a good team. Like, we know that. There's some other, we had some unlucky shit happen. But overall, holy shit, what an exciting team. And yeah, can't wait for next year to cover this Avs team. It's gonna be killer.
Again, check us out on Twitter. Check us out on Check us out on Twitter. Check out the jersey giveaway on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Smash the retweets as much as you can. And check us out on YouTube. Our episodes, if you're not watching them and you want to watch them, they're on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know. Instagram, Offside Mile Pod, same thing there. Come check us out. Yeah.
Should be big times, big stuff coming next year. So
See you in December.
Some enforcer-based podcasting coming at you. Brought to you by the Hockey Podcast Network.
And now Semenko out in front of the goal, pounding away at Joe Kocher, who's down on the ice, holding the back of his head.
Actually what really surprised me, especially with Twitter being like Leaf Nation, was Grimson over Colton Orr. That voting really surprised me. I didn't think that would happen.
Don't forget to catch the Fourth Line Voice podcast wherever you find your podcasts, presented by the Hockey Podcast Network.
Mark Bergevin. And everybody goes on and on with the whole PK thing and blah, and he hated him because he doesn't like fun and blah, blah, blah. I have heard from a few people that Mark Bergevin's hilarious.
No, this guy was a riot. He would have to be at the bar, and he's like, oh, I just had a penis colada. And the girls would, like, give a double take and be like, what? He's like, yeah, I had the penis colada, it's not bad,
Enforcer-based podcasting wherever you get podcasts from.
The biggest thing you can do to support us is by going to iTunes or Apple Podcasts and giving us a 5-star rating. Also, if you're looking to donate to the network, visit the Hockey Podcast Network's Patreon page. All donations go straight to the podcast host. Thanks, and see you next episode.
You're listening to the Hockey Podcast Network on Twitter at HockeyPodNet. New episodes every Monday and Thursday. Download at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com or wherever you get your podcasts from.